you may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Ramirez versus DeLeon.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Ramirez, you say your fiance, Mr. DeLeon, is the father of your 2-year-old son and 1-year-old daughter, yet he has denied paternity throughout your relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. DeLeon, you argue that you are doubtful that these 2 children are yours because you claim Ms. Ramirez slept with at least 7 other men during the course of your relationship.
Yes,
Now,
Your
you
Honor.
say with a track record like that, there's only a slim chance that you fathered either of these children.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Ramirez, take me back to the circumstances that you found out you were pregnant with your first child.
Well, at the time, just to say right now, Your Honor, that I'm very disappointed in Gilbert for everything. Gilbert was homeless at the time when I first met him, and I asked my mom if he can move in with us, and she said yes. My mom saw that he was smoking weed. That was a big no. She told him to leave, and I was in love with him, and I followed him, and I believed him that he was gonna take care of me, and he lied. So it was hard.
And when did you find out you were pregnant?
At the time, when me and Gilbert were together, we got in a big argument. I left and I met someone else, an old friend, slept with him, went back to Gilbert a few days later. And I let him know that I was pregnant and the baby may not be his. And I gave him that option either to stay or to go. He decided—
Excuse me, I find that incorrect. You called me while I was working with my father.
And he decided
and you told me
to
that
stay.
that was my child and that I should come and be in the hospital with you. You let me know that that was my kid.
Okay.
So hold on, I want to do it one child at a time because I want to understand. When do you find out you're pregnant with your first child?
I have this.
Jerome, can you grab that? I'd like to see that calendar.
There you go.
I want to understand this. So these are the dates of conception for your child, Ian.
Yes, ma'am.
In yellow is outlined the dates that you had intimate relations with Mr. DeLeon.
Yes, ma'am.
The other color outlines the dates you were intimate with a friend.
Yes, ma'am.
And this entire time is the estimated dates of conception,
Yes.
which obviously leads to the thought that there could be an issue regarding paternity.
Yes, ma'am.
But you claim you told him this.
Yes, ma'am. I told him either he can stay or he can go. He decided to stay and be a father to him.
No, ma'am,
Now,
that's incorrect.
Mr. DeLeon, I hope she didn't have a calendar, but she did outline this issue with you that she had been intimate with someone else. Am I correct?
I actually had to find out on my own. She didn't tell me that she was having intimate relationships with other people. And at the same time, I would ask her, is everything okay? Do you love me? Do you don't love me? She would tell me yes. You know, nothing else is going on until I found text messages on her phone about another guy stating, you know, hey, I like the way you hugged me today, how you ran and jumped up on me and I held you. You know, can we see for lunch tomorrow? And I confronted her about this to give her the benefit of the doubt to see if she would tell me the truth. And she consecutively lied until I brought him up on her phone and caught her red-handed.
So at that point, you knew that you may or may not be Ian's father.
Yes, that's when I began having
And
my
then
doubts about
he
paternity.
decided
But
to
it wasn't
stay.
the voluntary disclosure that Ms. Ramirez suggests.
When she found out that she was pregnant, she told me I was the dad. And as I found all this information out, I had doubts. I mean, if she slept with other guys during the same week that our child was supposedly conceived, how could I be sure in my mind if it's my kid?
So it's very clear why you have doubts.
Yes.
But now, once Ian was born, did you bond with the child?
I was
did
there.
you step up to the plate
I was there
regardless of your
for the
doubt?
child's birth. I delivered the child by hand. The doctor didn't do it. I'm the one that put on the gloves, the apron, and everything. I pulled the child out of her. There was nobody else there to deliver that child. I did that to both of my children. I cut the umbilical cord.
Yes, but you refused to sign the birth certificate.
But how would I be sure if you slept with quite a few other people?
So wait, Mr. DeLeon, you were there to usher the child into the world and you wouldn't sign the birth certificate because you had the doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, at some point you were obviously trying to make this work, or you all were still together because you had another child together.
Exactly. Throughout the time, I've tried with her over and over and over. I made a promise to her that I would never leave her. And she ended up being the one to leave me.
That's Annalise,
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
your second child.
Yes, ma'am.
And yet, this child, you also have doubts about.
Yes.
So, Ms. Ramirez,
At the time, Gilbert was working. He wasn't showing me the affection and everything. He wasn't being the man that I wanted at the time. He was working this construction job. He would leave at 6 in the morning. He would get home at 12 at night,
I worked
smelling
all
like
day.
weed.
I worked all day.
What you were
I'm at
saying is he
school.
was not, he wasn't
Working.
just working.
He was
using
doing
that excuse and was doing
Yes,
other things.
yes.
She
He
said I
would
wasn't
smoke,
working,
play
but
with
at the
his
time, at
cars,
the end
try
of the
to
week,
fix
I made
cars,
$700,
take that time away from
Hold on,
his
let's
kids.
get some order. I can't understand you both at the same time. Ms. Ramirez, explain to me what you saw during that time.
He would just do random things. Take that time away from them. Tell me, I'm gonna be working. I'll be back at this time. Come back 5 hours late. And I'm here with the kids. I'm going to school at the time, at high school, trying to get myself ready to help these kids, to help myself. But he didn't do none of that.
So you took his lack of commitment to the relationship and him staying out and not coming back when he said he was, you took that as rejection.
Yes, ma'am.
You felt like, well, you obviously aren't that into me.
Yes.
How did you find out she was cheating during the time of conception?
During the time of conception with Annalise, her mother had kicked me out of the house. So I had no other option but to find any job I could possibly get without a high school diploma. So I had a friend that worked in apartment complexes, remaking them, repainting them, and whatnot. I moved into the apartment with my friend. Okay, she called me and complained that her mother didn't want her at the house, that she was tired of being with her mom. So I took it upon myself and brought her into the home. Well, at that point in time, that she went off and told me that my friend ended up touching her on the leg and say, hey, let's go to the room. She came down and ran to me and told me, hey, he's doing this, I don't like this. 2 weeks later, I find out she ended up having sex with him.
With your roommate?
Yes. And how I found out that, I got off work, and the neighbor that lives right downstairs across from my boss, because my boss lived right downstairs from us, came out and said, hey, I'm not trying to cause no problems between you and your relationship, but this is something you should know. Your roommate just came down bragging about how he just did your chick and all this other stuff, and I said, I was in denial.
Ramirez, is this true?
Yes, it is true.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Ms. Ramirez, is this true?
Yes, it is true, but I'm not saying I'm a perfect girlfriend, but I can say that I'm a damn good mom.
He brought you over to his apartment where he lived with his roommate, and then you slept with the roommate?
Yes, Mom, I did.
After she complained that he was touching her at first and she didn't like it, she ended up sleeping with him afterwards.
What was he doing wrong then?
He was doing the same thing.
I was working.
And so, Ms. Ramirez, take me back to this thing. You say he was working. Now, I hear a lot of women stand in my courtroom and they're always saying, well, the reason why I did this or the reason why I did that is because they were working. Now, that's a good thing that he's working.
Okay.
Especially when he has 2 children to support.
Yes, ma'am.
And a family. So what was wrong with that?
He was working all the time, and it's still to this day, it is still like that.
But I'm saying, what would then lead you to sleep with the roommate?
Just to. It was just to, because at the point, I didn't want to be at my mom's house. I didn't care if I was with him. It was just to be away. And
But you weren't away because you were in the house where he lived. Was this during the time that your daughter was conceived?
Yes, ma'am. It was for 4 months, and
around that time, after I found that out, I moved her out of there and still took the benefit of the doubt and forgave her for what she did. I got us an apartment there on property, and I would work, and I would work, and I would work. And she ended up still going back to that guy's apartment and going to see him again.
Really? And Mr. DeLeon, you kept taking her back?
What can I say? I guess I took it for the benefit of the doubt and I forgave her for it because supposedly these are my children.
So when did you find out she was pregnant and Annalise may not have been yours?
Well, after we had lived in the apartment for a couple of months, we got into arguments and whatnot, and she moved back home. We hadn't talked for a couple of months because we got in an argument. I get a call from her stating, hey, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, okay, why does that concern me? You know, she's like, it's your kid. And I was like, how is it my kid when you've slept with so many other guys? How do I know it's mine? And she's like, well, I want you to be here in the hospital. And, you know, me, kind-hearted like I was, I went and saw her in the hospital. No other guys there. After she slept with all these other gentlemen, she begins to call me. and I end up delivering Annalise. I pulled her out of her. I cut the umbilical cord. I was the doctor. The doctor was overlooking me, you know? And there's a picture right there of me holding my child.
But through all of this, from the beginning, you still promised me through everything that you were still going to be there.
I did promise that I was going to be there.
Okay, he said he gave you the benefit of the doubt, but you are wearing it out now. I mean, really. Are you taking for granted that he keeps taking you back? He keeps saying he's going to be there?
And that's what I
Okay,
believe.
because now this is child number 2 and more doubt.
And that's what I believe, Your Honor, that she kept on taking advantage of me. Because after this child was born, no more than a couple months later, she ended up leaving me and telling me that these kids aren't mine over an argument because I'm working too much, you know?
Ms. Ramirez, did you tell him that?
Yes, I told him that he wasn't the father only and that I was upset at him.
And then I ended up receiving a text message on Facebook and a picture of this gentleman that supposedly is my daughter, that he's holding my kid. And I got a letter from Facebook also stating that this is his child. And
this is a picture of another man holding the baby you delivered in the hospital.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
And it
And it says, my baby girl.
Yes.
The letter I provided you with, he's the one that stated that he can be a better father than I was, that these are
'Cause
his
he
kids, and he'll see
was.
us in court.
I'm going to do your job as a man and take care of my family while you have fun over there with your cars. I'm going to be the man that you weren't for my kids. We will see you in court.
And that's right there. You'll
That's
see me in
directed
court.
to you.
Yes.
So he writes this. Now, can't you understand why Mr.
Yes,
DeLeon
and I
might
don't-
read
I
that
don't
and
bl- I
feel
don't
like, well,
blame
maybe
him.
I'm not the child's father?
Yes, I don't blame him for any of this. I don't. It's not if I was a good girlfriend or a bad girlfriend. It's about the kids more than anything in this world right now.
And that's what this court is all about. But you have to understand that when you allow people, you know, this is what I want people to understand about these Facebook posts, and you all take the social media stuff like it's just, everything is just so easy breezy. It's cavalier. I get up there and I put whatever I want out there. I'm going to get back at Gilbert for not doing what I want him to do. And yet that's your baby's face out there. And now it's got Mr. DeLeon doubting whether or not
Yes, but he
he's
only
the
wants
child's
to
father.
be a dad when he wants to be, like his parents.
My
They
parents
they're
have their
only
doubts because of the stuff
when
that
they
she's
want to
done
be
to me.
grandparents.
So they doubt that these are my
Well,
children.
she just said she understands why you have doubts.
And she says about my parents don't like her because of the stuff that she's done to me in the past. They had no problems with her before. Once they found out she was cheating on me, they didn't want anything to do with her. They disbelieved that these children were their grandchildren.
But how stupid is that these kids look all like you, Gilbert?
But you had sex with 7 other people.
That doesn't matter. These kids
Oh,
look
wait a
all like
minute,
you.
Ms.
Relationship, Your Honor.
Ramirez?
Throughout our relationship, Your Honor,
Let me tell you something. It does matter.
Your Honor.
It matters. When you are intimate with more than one man during a time when children are conceived and there's a level of doubt related to the paternity, it matters. It matters. You just stood there and said that this isn't about whether you were a good girlfriend or he was a good boyfriend. This is about the kids. Well, this is about the kids. When you sleep with more than one person, unprotected, and you don't know who the child's father is, your actions now affect the child. That's what I want you two to understand. So now you're on the outs. You're not together right now. People are posting on Facebook that they're going to do a better job at raising the kids than you. What do you say to Ms. Ramirez in response to this?
Well, and first of all, I mean, I'm also in disbelief because the number of other gentlemen that she was with, my children were calling them dad and not me, okay? Also, the time that we were separated, I hadn't slept with one woman since. She slept with more than 7 or 10.
Ms. Ramirez, do you have any remorse over this?
Yes, I do. This is the reason why I brought him here, to put all this to rest. If he's not the father, then I will figure it out. But if he is the dad, he needs to step it up.
Hold on. It's nothing funny about somebody having to figure out who their child's father is.
Your Honor, if I may say, I do love this woman, and I do forgive her for the mistakes that she's made, and I'm not saying I've been a perfect dad, but I do want to know if these kids are mine before I ask for her hand in marriage.
Now, if the children are not yours, Does that mean you're not interested in having a relationship?
No, that doesn't necessarily mean that. These children now call me dad. I'm not gonna turn that away from them and hurt and break their hearts and tell them that, you know what, I'm not your dad.
All right, Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Ramirez versus DeLeon, when it comes to 2-year-old Ian, Mr. DeLeon, you are his father. Let's go to the second results. Let's go to the second results. As it pertains to 1-year-old Annalise, Mr. DeLeon, you are her father.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
You are their father.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me at this point in time. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get emotional. I'm not a very emotional kind of guy, but this just puts the icing on the cake.
You have a right in this instance.
Thank you so much for providing me with that information.
And Ms. Ramirez, you are one lucky lady. You know, this story could have ended very differently, and you understand this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't look for love and look for acceptance in other people's beds all the time. There are times in life when you not just have to accept responsibility for your actions, but when you have to actually learn the lesson from the mistake. No more excuses and no more explanations. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I wish you the best of luck. Continue to take such great care of those beautiful children. And pay a little bit more attention to Ms. Ramirez.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? I know you all love each other, so I'm going to wish you the best of luck. Court is adjourned.
I am glad that these children are mine, and I do forgive you for the past, and I look forward to the present and the future. I just want to give you hope.